What's up, everyone? My name is Morcie, and if you're new to this channel, I help others have a shift in consciousness and heal themselves. And today, I want to talk about a very common experience within the spiritual awakening process, the journey, and that's losing friends. That is no longer being friends with the people we were once friends with. Listen, if you're watching this video, more than likely you feel hurt by it, and that's okay. I think I noticed that there's certain energies where people are just like, I don't care if I lost friends, whatever. Okay, all right. Sometimes, I say that to myself, and then other times I'm like, oh my God. So I want to share this video for those people who are like, oh my goodness. I want to share this video for those who are like, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to see this. They want to see a new perspective of it. Okay. For one thing, losing people is actually a release, right? You're not really losing anyone. It's a release. If certain people are no longer present within your space, it's because they don't belong there. We cross paths with people for a reason. Have you ever heard of the saying, some people are in our lives for a reason, for a season, and for a lifetime, or for a lifetime? Some people are in our lives just for a reason, some just for a season, and others just for a lifetime. Not everyone that we cross paths with is going to be in our life for a lifetime. And you know what? You might want to say thank goodness, because some people you don't need in your life, because quite frankly they are distractions. Okay. And what I'm telling you now is that if there's someone who's not in your life right now, more than likely they were a distraction. When I think of the people who I don't talk to, it was more because I needed to focus myself somewhere else, mostly on myself, but also somewhere else, because some of the ways they were thinking, some of the ways they were acting and feeling, it was really affecting me, and it wasn't allowing me to grow, and it wasn't allowing me to see life in the way that I meant to see it, in the way that I need that encouragement and that support or what have you, right? That's what I realized through my self-reflection, and I say I understand why, and I'm going to agree with the present moment and be like, I'm grateful, because in all honesty, right, what happens is what you're left with is space. That space that used to be filled with friends, what happens is you feel empty because you don't know what to feel about with the space that you're left with. You don't even know what to do with it or utilize it. So you end up thinking that that space is a reflection of you. You think that however you judged, right, that space, you might say, wow, I don't have friends because of A, B, and C, right? You might judge yourself and be like, oh, there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just on a part of your process where you need to be in maybe you need to be in hermit mode. I was in hermit mode for the majority of this year, but I can tell you that the revelations that I received, the wisdom and insight that came to me, the enlightenment that I felt was so invaluable that it could not have come to me had I had those same people in my life. And that's the honest truth. At some point, you have to sit back and recognize and at least open yourself up to what the present moment is offering you in this moment. I promise you that if you don't have something, it's not meant to be there. And recognize too that when you try to keep these people in your life, you want them to stay in your life, that means that you have to stay at an old state of being. You have to vibrate at this old energy in order to even relate to them, to be with them. So you're really sacrificing your transformation and your evolution for this comfort. It's comfort, it's not really comfort, but for this comfort of being with people, of being perceived a certain way, right? You have to sit back and ask yourself, what's more valuable to you? Your growth, your transformation, or staying with people that are only influencing you to stay at an old energy, an old state of being? Your state of being is the way you think, the way you act, the way you feel. On your spiritual awakening journey, you shift the way you think, the way you act, the way you feel. And if those people are not growing with you, then you have to ask yourself, am I ready to release them? Okay? And yeah, and it's okay to mourn that, right? I spoke about that in the beginning of the video, like that feeling of being like, wait, no, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. It's okay to mourn that, right? Because sometimes this idea gets put on as if we have to be so tough because certain people aren't in our life. But what it is that we miss those, we want those memories, right? Memories are comforting. This is why we love nostalgia. This is why nostalgia, it feels so comforting, especially during these current times. You know, often in times in our lives when we feel like our life is shifting so quickly, things are changing so quickly and drastically, and we don't have a hold on life. Often, you know, nostalgia makes us feel comforted because it's memories from the past. I can't remember how many times where I thought about like old Disney Channel shows that I used to watch, or even Pokemon. I love Pokemon. Maybe you don't know this about me, but I enjoy playing video games every now and then, and I love Pokemon. So that's something that's nostalgic for me. So memories are comfort, and oftentimes what we're missing are those memories, and not the actual person. So it's important to bring in space, bring in awareness, so we can begin to be more discerning and to consider whether it's the person or it's the memory. And if it's the memory, then you can begin to let go of the person and realize, hey, you know what? New memories are being made right now in this moment. New memories are being made in this present moment. So, you know, it's okay to mourn old friendships, to be sad about it. You know, what's often not talked about is friendship breakups, right? We talk about romantic breakups all the time. Like, it's everywhere in movies, it's in songs, it's what people love to just talk about all the time. Like, oh, I broke up with so-and-so. But like, what about the friends, the people you used to be friends with? Like, that hurts, right? These people that in your mind, you're like, oh, we're gonna be friends for a very long time. And then you end up that ends up not happening, right? Reality does not end up fitting your expectations, and that's the pain that you feel, right? That attachment to that expectation. So really healing from that is the acceptance of they're gone for a reason, and whatever your attachment to, you can shift that feeling more into being in the present moment and recognizing how this moment is for you. This moment is for your growth. Focusing on you allows you to be more authentic, because, you know, maybe you had people around you and it wasn't allowing you. Maybe you put out into the world, hey, I want to be authentic. I want to be me. I don't want to have to think about who I have to be. I just want to be me. Well, guess what? That's going to take solitude. That's going to take hermit mode, because you have to begin to recognize what old narratives and stories and judgments and beliefs are in your mind that are not you, so you can let that go and be able to embrace what's already within you. We are all already who we're meant to be. It's more about recognizing who we are not. And so releasing those old people are truly about releasing who we are not, what we no longer need. They came into our life for a season, maybe for a reason. And listen, that's it. and we let it go. We allow ourselves to be fluid, to be loose, to be resilient enough to flow with the impermanent nature of reality, right? So listen, you might lost friends, but I can guarantee you will find peace. And if friends are what you want, I mean, they're gonna come. But just recognize that you are your priority right now. If you don't have friends, it's because you are your priority right now. For some people, they may say, I'm good without friends. Okay. For some people, some may say, I do want friends. Okay. Either way, it's important to recognize this present moment. This moment is for you. You're going to attract whoever you need. But recognize that this moment, when you recognize the reward in this moment, rather than focusing on a future outcome so often, it's okay to think about it. We can think about it, right? It's all part of manifestation. We can think about it. It has more to do with the attachment. It has more to do with how much importance you're putting on having friends, and having to do with understanding that this moment's more rewarding because it's the only moment that exists. It's the only moment that I'll ever be in. And yeah, it's the only moment that I'll ever be in. I just, think about a time where you got something you wanted, and that moment of joy and enthusiasm, it faded away. Why? Because the mind is so used to reaching a certain point that it always wanted, and then yearning for something else, always yearning for something else. If you continue to keep the habit of yearning for something else within your mind, it doesn't matter whether or not you get what you receive, it will never be enough. There will never be a sense of contentment in the moment. Contentment doesn't mean that you're no longer going to work to build upon aspects of your life. It just means that you recognize what you have right now, and you're not in a state where you feel like the future is better than this moment. So practice this habit of recognizing that this moment is enough, recognizing this full-on attachment and putting so much importance on a future moment. And you'll be able to have the space and the awareness to recognize the peace that lies within you. That peace that honestly, in essence, is you. It's your true self. When you recognize that, you already feel whole and complete. You're just moving throughout the world, experiencing life, you're just playing in the world of form, honestly. And even, this isn't to make it sound so huge. When we think about the spiritual awakening journey, it's subtle. For most people, it's subtle. Other people have these huge moments. For people like me, every moment is subtle. There are moments where I'm like, whoa. But majority of the time, it's really those small moments of insight, small aha moments that build upon each other. Growth is slow and progressive. It's gradual and incremental. So recognize that, focus on that. You focus on that more when you're in solitude more, rather than being around people and having all of their input in your mind. This moment is for you, all right? My name is Morcie. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like down below. Do check out my free guided meditation for observing thoughts and emotions fade away. Until next time, peace.